You have one unheard message.
Hey girl, I wasn't able to reach you, so I wanted to leave a voice note because I was just thinking about everything that we spoke about, and I had a new thought that I wanted to share. I've just been reflecting on this love-hate relationship that I have with myself when it comes to trying new things and actually checking off the things that I have on my to-do list, those big dreams that I have, and even the small dreams as well. And to be honest, there was a time in my life that I felt super fearless. I was very excited about the unknown, about trying new things. And I don't know if it's because I'm starting to really understand how failure works and how it makes us feel, that I'm being more cautious about really going after those things that I know will really help me to reach the goals that I have. But I just can't seem to figure this out. What happens if I try everything? What happens if I give it my all and it still doesn't work out? Is there a limit to how many times you can fail at something in life? Or do you just keep trying and trying and trying and trying until you succeed? And what if you try and you do everything that you're supposed to do and then it still does not work out? And then on the other side, what if you try and then everything works out, but then it works out so well, and then you begin to think to yourself, oh my God, this is not real. It is not real. I'm just gonna wait for the other shoe to drop because I'm so sure that something bad is gonna happen to completely change everything. It's scary. It's really scary to realize that whether we go for it or whether we don't, there's still some form of, I want to say, fear. There's still some form of fear attached to it. If you go for it, you're scared about what's going to happen next, and you might be worrying about the unknown. And then if you stay where you are, then you're worried that life is just passing you by and you're not doing the things that you've been put on this earth to do. You're not going after your purpose and you're not living out your full potential. So what is the solution? Do we just think about it until we find a way out, some kind of logic answer? Do we jump in by faith and just go with it and hope that it works out? Do we apply some type of strategy to everything that we're doing? Do we go with our feelings and make the best decisions that feel good? Do we do the whole sacrificing now and going for the things that you really want to do, starting again, but then just hoping that in the future it's all going to pay off? Because what if you put in so much now and then when it's time for it to actually pay off, you don't get the returns? Or do we just do what we know we have to do and not necessarily what feels good or what would make sense to us or what keeps us comfortable, but that thing that makes us feel on fire? It just lights up something within us when we think about it. It makes us want to go, oh my gosh, this would be so amazing. I'm going to do this. I need to do this. I don't have an option but to do this because I know that I'm going to impact so many people's lives. Do we go with that option? I want to share with you something that came up in my devotional this morning, and that was in Galatians chapter 1. What was really interesting to me is that Paul here is saying that he's being called by God. He's being called by God. And he's really pointing out that this message that he has been preaching is not something that he got from someone else on earth, that it's something that God gave to him. And this is so important because I'm about to share something with you that for some of us, it's gonna change our lives. I just had this huge revelation that a lot of times we seek other people's wisdom and other people's counsel in the moments where we're supposed to seek God for clarity and wisdom to actually be able to start again and do the things that He has called us to do, even if it didn't work out in the past. And we do this because we believe so much in the results that those people have had and in the experiences that they've had to be able to guide us through what we're trying to navigate. But then what happens when God gives you a vision that no one can really understand in its seed form? What happens when God calls you to do a quote-unquote crazy idea, and then you go around seeking advice and counsel from people that have never been on that type of journey before? And hear me out. I'm not saying you shouldn't ask anyone before you start again or before you try again, even if it's your first or your 100th time. What I'm saying is, well, don't skip asking God. Don't skip asking God, because a lot of times the things that He has called you to do, He has the mysteries and the solutions that you need for that particular season. Those things that do not look clear, He has the answers to actually guide you through it. He has the wisdom to download into you spiritually so that it can come through in the physical, in the way that you operate. And I'm telling you, I have experienced this firsthand, where you just feel like God gives you a really crazy vision and no one else understands it, and you just gotta know that you need to move forward and other people will catch up. And this is so important, because when I read that Bible passage where Paul is like, listen, God gave this thing to me, I'm like, oh my goodness. What if we spent more time getting our downloads from God? What if I spent more time asking God and hearing from God? The ideas that I end up executing and the purpose and the calling that God has for me will become clearer. And I'll be able to walk in so much more confidence. I'll be rooted in the values that God has downloaded into me. I'll be rooted in the identity of being a child of God. I'll be able to walk into spaces and rooms where I'm not the same as everyone in the way that I present my content and in the way that I look at trends and all these different things, but yet God's success will be upon my life. His distinction will propel me forward because I am living in obedience. And even if it doesn't look like the success that the world paints, where I end up with a lot of money and a lot of accolades, I know that the lives that I'm impacting for the kingdom of God through this purpose, through starting again, is so worth it. And whoa, my friends, like, when I had this revelation, I just knew that something was about to change and I was gonna start again and go for it this time. Anyways, girl, what's up with you? Send me a message.